everyone, I am back today to share a swap journal that I've made. This is a swap that I'm doing with Anna from Cottage Roses Papery, and we decided that we would do a no-sew journal and use some of the Amity Bloom Christmas digitals that she had put out last year. So in this journal then I've used I believe it's called the Christmas Diary collection from Amity Bloom. I've used some ruby and pearl papers, and I've also used a couple of Angela Kerr's papers, some of the background papers. The tutorial that I used to create this, the first person that I saw do this type of no-sew journal was Nazi from Amity Bloom, but Meredith from Share Mare Collective did a really great two-part tutorial and that's what I followed to do this. So the idea is that it's a no-sew journal, and you hinge in between the pages to connect them together, and you'll see that as I go through. But this is what I've come up with for Anna, and I had such a great time making this. This was a little bit out of my comfort zone. It took me a little while to kind of get the whole no-sew aspect of it, and I'm not quite sure why, but I finally got it down, and I had a lot of fun doing this, and this is going to be the only Christmas journal I get to create this year, so I hope you enjoy the flip through. So I have just closed it very simply with a couple of pieces of ribbon here, one twine piece and one cream and gold piece, and I've just tied that around 3 times. You can see that, as I usually do, I've got lots of ruffles on the side. The spine is fabric that I have pieced together with a few trims and some buttons as well. And then this is the back, and that's one of the papers that I used from Angela Kerr. So on the front then, this is kind of the topper piece to the journal. And I have actually opened it this way because I didn't have enough space to add the spine piece, so I took it all apart and then decided to open it this way so that I could make sure that I had lots of room to add that. So the spine, the top piece then is a little pocket here, and I've just collaged different papers and added some trim. This is a little journaling card that I've made, and I've just added one of the Christmas memories photos from Amity Bloom here on the front, and you can certainly journal underneath that. But I just thought it was nice to kind of have that photo kind of hang over the top of that little pocket that I've added there. So inside, and then I've just done lots of collaging, so you'll see that most of the background pages have lots of collaging on them, which just makes lots of interest in the journal. So I've just used my lace, and I've added a little baking paper pocket here, my note stamp, and then just a couple of other tags here. Lots of trim, lots of sari ribbon. Now, typically in these, most people that I've seen don't do a signature in this front piece, but because of the way I had this open, I was able to do that. So I just added a variety of pages, added tabs with buttons here. This is some velvet ribbon and a couple of different pieces of trim. And I've just added tabs, decorated tabs throughout, and I thought this was a good place to add your Christmas memories here, and then throughout the journal would be a great place to add photos and that type of thing. So I've just added those pages in there. And then on the back piece of this topper, I've got a tag, and just lots of trim here with this really pretty, one of my favorite journaling cards. So that's the front piece. If you flip it this way, and then I've just clipped on, this is just a floating pocket, And I've just got a couple of different pieces here, different tags and journaling cards in here. And then in this pocket, this paper is from a new paper by Sweet Pea Curiosities, and it's grungy stripes, grungy ticking is the collection. There's two different collections, and I just love it. I was really glad to see it come out because I knew it would go perfectly with this. And you can see, because this is kind of the main paper, this is one of Amity Bloom's freebies on her Facebook group. I've used this as my main paper, and then I pulled out the red, the green, and this pink. So you'll see a little bit of pink throughout this as well. And I've just got this cute December journaling card, and then I've made an embossed journaling card with a tab, and then I've put some ledger paper on the back for journaling. So I've done this in my usual style, which includes, lots of craft paper kind of as backing, just because that's really kind of my style. So I've just carried it into this particular project. So here you can see the different collaging, and this is one of the types of hinges. So this is a page. So this is the center of the halfway point. So I've extended this particular piece over to attach to this page. And so that's one of the types of hinging that I've done here, and just added lots of ruffles and my H tape as well. Here I've made a little folder. I don't have anything in it. It's a pocket really, and this is inspired by Heather from Ruby and Pearl. She was making some cute file folders a few weeks ago now, and so I created one to go in this journal. And then I have this is a printable, I think from Ruby and Pearl as well, just little envelope printable, so I've added that. And then this cupcake liner little Christmas tree, and Nazi was doing these a few years ago now, and I just think they're so cute. They're just a cute addition to any kind of Christmas journal. I've used a square doily here that I've folded into an envelope, and then I've just added some tags. Just get that out. This is one of the images from the Christmas Memories kit from Amity Bloom. And this is a kit that Yvonne Preston has on her coffee site. She's got some really pretty new Christmas printables to check out. And then this is one of the newer collections from Ruby and Pearl. She has a really pretty, a couple of really pretty ornament kits available, so that's where that comes from. Here I have just clipped on a collage tag. So this was the same collage that I used on the front here. This was all collaged and mostly covered up by now, but this is another piece of that, and I just added some velvet trim and a little bit of gold, a little bit of snowflake trim there. And then I've just made a little pocket here with a piece of lace, and I've added a couple of different journaling cards. This one is a Christmas cake recipe, and this pretty holly journaling card there. On this side, so you can see the collage here, I've added a bag, and I've used one of the fancy book covers from Ruby and Pearl. This is a glassine bag, and I've added the image, and I've added a little bit of dotted tulle there, and behind that then I've got more of that grungy ticking, and then the tag is just a snowflake embossed tag that I've added. And then behind that I've just added a piece of that paper from Angela Kerr Designs, just as an extra large journaling spot. And then the gold trim on the side. One of my favorite pages from this kit is beautiful. These two birds sitting on the fence. Add a little bit of trim here. And then you can see how I've hinged it over. I added this extension to this and just left it as a pocket and added a tab. This is from Marley's Design. She has a Christmas kit out, and that's what that is. And then this is a scan of an envelope that I have in my collection, and I've just made it into a little notebook here. Great place to add lists or, you know, your December memories. Here I've used printed that paper that I started off with onto some tracing paper and made a bag. And then I've just got this tag that I had in my stash. It's green and red, and I thought it just went really well with the colors. This is the other type of hinge, of course, that you can do, is just one right down the middle. So I've tried to vary it as I created this journal, just for a little bit of interest. This journaling card is part of the collaging that I did for this project, and then I've added one of the Tim Holtz holly sprigs there and added a tab. And then this is another one of the fancy book covers from Ruby and Pearl. So I've tried to add a little bit of pink in throughout. Here again, the hinge is the extension of this page and just glued onto this page. I've got a fabric ruffle here, and then I've just got a little fabric kind of charm or tag here with a little bit of sari ribbon. I've added a few buttons to that. I've been very inspired by Crafty by Tony. She does some amazing, not collaging, well, she does, but little projects like this where she uses lots of different pieces and put them together as little clusters. Clusters is the word I'm trying to come up with in my mind. So this is kind of inspired by the way she does her clusters, and yeah, she's very inspiring. If you haven't checked her out, you should. Crafty by Tony. Another hinge here in the middle, a little pocket here. And this is a collage page from the old design shop. I've added a couple of Tim Holtz pieces here, and then I've just added a little bit of coffee dyed paper to have another kind of larger journaling spot. Lots of trim. In the middle here, I have collaged this, the background here, and then I've added over top one large receipt, and then on top of that, I've got some of the dotted tulle, and it's really left open as a pocket. I couldn't find anything I really liked once I got it in those pockets, and that's why I've left them empty. But certainly Anna can add little bits and pieces to those pockets as well. And I actually saw Meredith do this in her journal, one of her no-sew journals, and that's where I got that inspiration. And then I just added that tulle on the front, and I've left both sides open for pockets. So this is what I have in the pockets. This is from the newer kit, the newest Christmas kit from Amity Bloom, and then I've just done a couple of larger tags. So that goes in there. So if you're still looking for Christmas kits, Amity Bloom has some really pretty ones to check out. Added a tab there. One of my favorite, I think I say that about all of them, but one of my favorite journaling cards, and added a little bit of Jingle Bell trim on the bottom there. Another tag from Amity Bloom's newest collection, and this is one of the Sweet Pea Curiosities newest grungy ticking pages. I just love that. So it picks up the really kind of berry color, the pink in this as well. Again, lots of trim. This is something that Nazi from Amity Bloom showed us earlier, I guess in the fall, just using washi tape to cover an envelope. So I used my Amity Bloom washi tape that was from last year and covered this I've just used the flap as a tuck spot for that journaling card. But this is the envelope. It's just a, I guess it's like a, I don't know, policy envelope almost. And I've just covered it with the washi tape and added a bit of trim to the top there. And that just gets added there. And then on this side, I've used another of the Christmas Memories images from Amity Bloom. Added a bit of tape. I've got a rusted paper clip there, and then I've just added a couple of pieces from the Christmas Diaries kit. And I've used a little bit of that twine throughout, so I've really kind of added a little bit of grunge to the kind of glitz of the gold trim. I've got a bit of twine. We've got the little bit of grungy bits from Sweet Pea Curiosities. I just thought it was a nice, nice contrast. So I made this tag. I've added one of the same as the what I've used kind of throughout to the Sweet Pea Curiosities paper here. Added a bit of trim and little tag for journaling. And then I've also got one of the Amity Bloom tags, and then that's all just kind of tucked into this receipt that's part of the Christmas Diaries collection. And I've just kind of folded it like that, folded it up, scrunched it up a bit, and then I've just added it here. And so you can see this page then is a short page. I just hinged it here and added a bit of tape here. On this side, I have made a pocket. Now I don't have anything in the pocket, but certainly Anna can do that. I've got a little Christmas ornament here that's from Ruby and Pearl, one of her ornament collections from this year. I've just added that. I thought it was an interesting journaling spot. In the center here, I've got a couple of baking paper pockets, added a tab, and then I've got a little bit of recipe information here, applesauce cake, and then these are gingerbread. This is from Angela Kerr, as is this, and this is from the old design shop. And this is a recipe card. And then I've just made this little paper clip with some poinsettias on it. I think those are Prima poinsettias from a few years ago now, and just added some velvet trim and that gold trim as well. In this little lace pocket, I've got another little journaling spot. I believe this is from Ruby and Pearl as well, the red collection. And then I've just added some of that pink lined ledger for an additional little journaling spot booklet. Here I've made a tag. You can see the collage work behind it. I've added some of that ledger as well. Over top of it, this is an image from Ruby and Pearl, and then I've just added this fun red dotted sari ribbon at the top so that it sticks out, and added some of that snowflake trim to the side. Here I've hinged it using some washi tape and more trims here. Here I've got part of one of the pages from the Christmas Diaries kit that I've used as a top tuck. Added a tab with some buttons on it, and then clipped together here I have made a frame with the Tim Holtz frame die. I've got another of the Christmas Memories photos, a tag from Amity Bloom's newest kit, and then I've got a gingerbread pudding recipe and another embossed tag. So then that all gets kind of clipped all together here like this, and I'm just going to tuck it up under here and let those pieces kind of sit on top. And then here, I just really love this, so I thought I wasn't going to add anything to it except for this kind of red trim here on the side. And this is the back page, so another journaling card as a pocket here. And then I've got another tag from the Amity Bloom kit. This is one of my favorite kind of baking images that I have. You will see in my Christmas playlist, I did a folio last year and used that for the cover image. And then this is another of the Ruby and Pearl Fancy book covers that I used just as a journaling card. I've resized those. So that is my swap journal for Anna. I hope you like this. I really enjoyed, as I said, I really enjoyed doing this. It was different, and I just really love the way it came out. I hope Anna loves it, and I thank you for joining me today.